All right, so
Let's dive into something a
okay,
little bit
go on.
different today. We're going to be looking at
Right.
lyrics from a song. This is Don't You Forget About Me
Okay.
by Simple Minds. And I think a lot of people know this song from
Right.
the movie The Breakfast Club,
Of course. Yeah.
which is just,
Hugely popular.
yeah, iconic 80s movie. But we're going to be taking a deep dive into the lyrics themselves and
Yeah.
really kind of breaking down the story and the
Yeah.
meaning behind them. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. I think everybody knows this song, but not everybody really knows what it's really about. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
I think it'll be interesting to go deeper than just the surface level.
Yeah, and I think the song, there's a lot there. And I
Yeah,
think there's a lot to unpack.
I think so too.
It's not just a simple, love song or a breakup song or
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
There's something else going on.
Yeah. There's like some subtext and maybe even some
Yeah, for sure.
unspoken things going on.
So we start off right away with that plea, don't you forget about me.
Hmm.
And it's repeated over and over and over again. What do you think about that right off the bat? I mean, that's like,
It's desperate, right?
yeah.
It's like somebody begging to be remembered,
Yeah.
and kind of clinging to this other person
Yeah.
to validate their existence almost.
Yeah, it's like, don't you, like, it's so
Yeah.
direct, it's very pointed.
It is. It is. Like, there's no question what
Oh,
they're
yeah.
asking for.
And it's repeated, like you said, it's like this
Yeah.
desperation, this like,
Hmm.
this really strong need to not be forgotten.
Yeah. And the fact that it's repeated so much suggests
Yeah.
that the speaker doesn't have a lot of faith that this person is
Yeah.
going to remember them.
Right, exactly. And then we get this image of the person dancing alone. What's
Yeah.
going on there,
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it sad? Is it defiant? Is it, I think there's kind of a few ways to interpret that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think either way, there's definitely this element of vulnerability to it.
Yeah.
Dancing alone kind of puts you on display.
Right. Yeah.
And it makes you really feel exposed, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting because you think of like a
Yeah.
dance as being something that's very,
Yeah, celebratory.
yeah, celebratory, or at least it's with other people.
Right.
And here we have this person who's
Mhm.
alone. So are they sad? Are they just trying to make the best of a bad situation?
Yeah.
Or are they trying to prove something?
Right. Or maybe it's all of those things at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. And then we get into this interplay between light and dark. And it's like, hey, love is so real in the dark.
Love strange. So real in the
Yeah.
dark.
And then there's this idea that like light can get into your heart
Hmm.
and then things change. So what's
What's that all about?
gonna go?
Yeah. Well, I think light and dark are often used symbolically
Right.
in art, to represent different things. Light often represents truth, exposure,
Yeah.
clarity, whereas darkness can represent secrecy, intimacy,
Right.
maybe even the unknown.
Right. Like it's safe.
Yes.
It's kind of like this safe space in the dark.
Right. And maybe the speaker is afraid of what will happen
Yeah.
if that love is exposed to the light.
Right. It's like they're clinging to
Yeah.
this thing. It's like they're afraid if other people see it or if it's brought out into the open that it will
Yeah.
somehow be ruined or changed.
Right. Or maybe they're afraid that they will be rejected,
Yeah.
if their true feelings are known.
Right. Exactly. And then there's this repeated image of rain. Rain keeps falling, keeps falling.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Rain can be,
Well, rain is interesting
yeah.
because it's often used symbolically as well.
Yeah.
It can be seen as cleansing, renewing, but also isolating,
Mm-hmm.
melancholic, sometimes even destructive, depending on
Yeah.
how it's used.
What do you think it is here?
I think here it probably represents sadness.
Yeah.
The speaker's tears,
Mm-hmm.
the feeling of being overwhelmed by their emotions.
Right. And it just keeps falling. It's like this constant weight, like this constant pressure.
Relentless.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get into these questions.
Okay.
Will you recognize me? Will you call my name? Or will you walk away?
Hmm.
Like over and over again. These questions just keep being repeated. I mean, what do you think is going on there?
Well, I think the speaker's really struggling with uncertainty.
Yeah.
They don't know if this person they're so fixated on
Right.
even recognizes them, even remembers them,
Right.
let alone whether they care.
Yeah, it's like they're afraid of being, completely overlooked, that
Mm.
this person is just going to walk on by and not even
Right.
notice them.
Exactly. It's that fear of rejection that we all experience, I think, at some point in our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have this line, it's my feeling will win in the end. I mean, amidst all of this like
Right.
uncertainty and heartbreak, it's
Yeah.
like there's this little glimmer of
Yeah.
hope or something. What do you think that's about?
Well, I think it speaks to the human capacity for hope, even in the face of adversity.
Yeah.
We want to believe that things will work out, that love will conquer all,
Yeah.
even when the odds are stacked against us.
It's like even though everything else in the song is pointing towards like, hey, this is not going to work out, this isn't going to happen, there's still this little piece that's clinging to this idea that maybe, somehow it will.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, is this genuine optimism?
Yeah.
Or is it just delusion?
Yeah, right. I mean, is it a healthy thing, or is it
Right.
something that's going to just lead to more pain down the road?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer.
And then, oh boy, we're getting into this line. Gonna take you apart. I'll put us back together at heart, baby.
Yeah,
What is happening there? I mean,
that's a little creepy, right?
yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's
do.
very possessive. It's like they want to, disassemble this other person and then rebuild them into something that they want. What's going on there?
Well, I think it speaks to the complexities of love and desire. Sometimes we want
Yeah.
to change the people we love, to mold them into what we think they should be.
Right. But is that real love?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it possible to truly love someone
Yeah.
if you're trying to change them?
Right. It's like, I mean, I guess this gets into the whole idea of like, what is love?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that
Yeah.
the song really makes you think about.
So, I mean, after going through all of this, is this a song of hope or despair? I mean, what do you think?
It's hard to say. I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
On the one hand, you have all this longing and heartbreak
Right.
and uncertainty. But on the other hand, there's that glimmer of hope,
Yeah.
that refusal to give up.
Yeah, and it doesn't give us any answers, right? It just
Well-
presents all these questions, and it leaves us to kind of, I don't know, ponder them ourselves,
Exactly. And I think that's part of what makes it so powerful.
Yeah. So next time you hear Don't You Forget About Me, listen a little more closely. I mean, really, listen
Yeah.
to the words. See what they mean to you. See what I don't know, what comes up for you when you listen to them.
I think that's great advice.
And until next time, keep diving deep.